I'm not good with money. I have learned that. Credit cards are dangerous. If you want something and you have room on a credit card, you can buy it. It's been pretty quiet for a while. Credit card! Better? My name is Diane McLeod. I was born and raised in Philadelphia. Right now I live in Croydon. And the debt I'm carrying all total is probably about $286,000. Give or take $1 or $2.
Diane McLeod's debt is the result of financial missteps, unfortunate circumstances, and a lending industry willing to extend her more credit than she could possibly repay.
A lot of my friends don't know what's going on. Some of my very close girlfriends do. But I have not let it been widely known because I'm embarrassed.
Across America, as home prices have fallen and the cost of living have gone up, more and more Americans like Diane McLeod are facing financial ruin. For years, they've spent more than they've earned, and they've used credit cards and other debt to do so, and now they're really under a mountain of borrowings. It leaves them in a position where only one incident, whether it's a job loss, a divorce, an illness, can push them right over the edge.
It seems all my life I've worried about money. I didn't worry about it as a kid or have to, but I've always worried. You stay outside. Not with a cigarette in my mouth. My mother will get mad.
Diane's financial troubles began back in 1996. Her husband's business was failing, and ultimately their marriage failed as well. Diane, a stay-at-home mom raising her son, grew depressed and was having trouble paying the monthly bills.
I paid gas, electric, and telephone on credit cards because there was no income. If we had a fight sometimes, I'd go out and shop and buy something to make me feel good. Watching some of the home shopping channels, you know, when you're alone and depressed, you can do some damage.
And the price was pretty darn good on this,
right?
Oh, my gosh,
yes.
Like a lot of Americans, Diane never fully paid off her credit card bills, and she would then be paying 27% and 28% interest rates to the credit card companies. In addition, these companies would levy late fees and over-limit charges on her because they allowed her to spend more than her limit. This was extremely lucrative for the credit card companies.
Well, I got to the point where I didn't have 20 credit cards, but I may have had 5 or 6. It's kind of like people with potato chips. You can't just have one.
By 2003, McLeod was carrying about $25,000 in credit card debt, but she was working 2 jobs and was able to buy a home with no down payment.
I was very proud of myself when I bought the house. I thought I would live here till I died. After I had the house for a year, my friend had done mortgages and said, well, refinance and put your debt in the mortgage. And that was easy. It was amazing how easy it was. Instead of having $700 a month in credit card debt, my mortgage went up like $200 a month. But it's a trap.
One of the reasons it was a trap was that the total amount that she had borrowed then went up. And as the mortgage reset at higher rates, she then would be paying, much more to cover that debt. She also had to pay almost $10,000 in penalties and fees to get the mortgage, and another mistake occurred when she had to borrow from her 401k to pay those fees. That triggered a tax bill.
I owed the IRS almost $3,000. Did not have $3,000 in the bank, and petrified of the IRS, I put it on a credit card. The ones I had just rolled all the debt into my mortgage.
With new credit card debt building up, Diane thought the increasing value of her home would bail her out.
In the first 3 years I owned my home, it went from $135,000 purchase price to appraising for $228,000. I mean, we're talking skyrocketing appraisals. So I refinanced again and rolled the debt. Now I had 2 mortgages. I had a first and second mortgage. And that was almost $1,500 a month.
Through 2006, Diane's financial position worsened. She quit one of her jobs when her pay was cut, and her son, who had been helping with the mortgage, moved out.
Now, I was carrying everything on my own. And between the mortgage and my salary, it wasn't going to add up, and a car payment and all that stuff.
By the fall of 2007, Diane could no longer afford the mortgage and stopped making the payments.
I kind of gave up on trying to keep it all together.
In January of this year, Diane's father passed away. Against her better judgment, she consoled herself by going shopping.
Old habits still weren't dead. You know, I didn't have credit cards, but when I got paid, I would be buying things. Shoes, clothes, handbags. I love shoes and handbags. I kind of like having the eBay, because for a while I was doing a lot of shopping on eBay, no surprise. But it's actually just as much fun to sell.
With little income, Diane has been selling her possessions to pay her utility bills.
I bought it because I liked it, and it was a good deal.
And what did you pay for it, do you remember?
$69.
What are you selling it for?
Wasn't another good investment. $29. Well, $30.
In March, Diane received notice her mortgage lender was foreclosing on her. With eviction looming, the house is headed for auction in a sheriff's sale.
Today is June 12th, 2008. Could be one of the worst days of my life. It'll rank there. The sheriff's sale for my house is at noon. Yes, hi. My house was listed for sheriff's sale today, and I was wondering if you could tell me if it's sold. It's Diane. The last name's McLeod. So what happens now?
Nobody bid on McLeod's house. The mortgage company now has to go through a formal eviction process, giving Diane time to find another place to live.
The mortgage company will be in contact with us for when they'd like us out of the property. So that was the best of all scenarios.
Jobless, with eviction imminent and her credit damaged, Diane McLeod plans to file for bankruptcy. She still receives offers for more lines of credit from credit card companies. This one reads, "We think you deserve more credit."
I mean, they say you have to rebuild your credit and you have to have credit cards. I don't know if I ever want a credit card again. They're too dangerous. They're too easy.